Business, 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com. Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business, 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell better and more, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Steer you right. Oh, boy.
Supply.
Holy smokes, that's straight gin. Yummy. All right, it's not straight gin. And if you're listening on the radio, you don't even know what I'm talking about. Just taking a big swig of the agua, the H2O, the water. It's a little warm out there, but we got cloud cover, so it's nice. Kind of a mild August summer with all that cloud cover, huh, Metro New Orleans? It is, Drew Brees, and August is normally brutal. But this was one of the milder August months we've had. Still got about a week to go. But I'll take the cloud cover. I'll take the afternoon thunder showers rolling in. Better to be 87 and a little rain than 97 feels like a $112. That's ridiculous. A Fantasy Friday edition of the program. It's not a fantasy. We're here. 2 big hours coming your way on the radio, on YouTube. Check us out on YouTube. Click and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free. The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on YouTube. Yeah, you right. We're on TV for the next 90 minutes till 5:30. All over Louisiana. #1 television provider in the state, Cox Communications. We're on Cox flagship station, Cox Channel 4, for the next 90 minutes. Yeah, you right. Hey, you old school charter TV subscribers, a.k.a. Spectrum. Spectrum Channel 333 till 5:30. Spectrum Channel 333. Yeah, you right. Let's get into it on this Fantasy Friday. By the way, the 5 o'clock power hour. I've been talking about these guys a lot lately. What are you waiting for? Seriously. North Shore folks have been going here for decades. South Shore folks like me just discovering it. And if you discover it, you will be going there like once a month at the least if you live on the South Shore. It'll go into your restaurant rotation. I'm talking about Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Something special. And what I like about Gallagher's, although it is great, and I would consider it high-end, it's priced right, and you can kind of go in there casual attire, especially at lunch. Lunch Tuesday through Friday, so they're done for the week for lunch. They're closed on Sunday and Monday, but they'll do lunch next week, Tuesday through Friday. Dinner is Tuesday through Saturday night, so tonight, tomorrow night, make it Gallagher's 527. Book the reservation right now. Call them. Get a reservation for tomorrow night. Get with another couple, some friends. Driving across the lake is a breeze, especially when you're with a couple of other close people and friends, buddies, relatives, wife, husband. You get to chit-chat. It's 25 minutes. Boom. Before you know it, you're like, damn, we're already here. It's a quick, relaxing drive across the causeway. Kind of can decompress. No exits, no entrances. Cruise control about 67. Stay in the right lane. Kaboom goes the dynamite. In 25 short minutes from Lakeside Shopping Center, you're pulling up in front of Gallagher's 527. Right when you cross the causeway, that Shell station right there, it's right behind that by the Aquista Pace Grocery. Gallagher's 527. I recommend the gumbo, the turtle soup, the crab meat St. Francis. I know you're like, Corey, what's the crab meat St. Francis? Maybe the best crab meat appetizer anywhere. It's incredible. I highly recommend it. Seafood mirliton as a side. Sweet potato casserole as a side. Tremendous. And then your entree could be just a bounty of local, fresh Louisiana seafood to choose from. Those oysters wrapped in bacon, flash fried. The shrimp wrapped in bacon, flash fried. Wow. Wow. Meuniere sauce, spectacular. Steaks, lamb chops sizzling in butter. I got a USDA prime New York strip when I was in there last week with the family. Fantastic. Not good, not very good, as good as it gets. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. What are you waiting for, South Shore folks? Make that short trip across the lake. 4 o'clock hour this afternoon, brought to you by Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Book that reservation. 1 week from today, next Friday, and I'm glad this date is falling on a Friday. Next Friday, August 29th. The old K word. 20 years. Enjoy it. I won't be checking any of that out. 4, 6, 8, 26. They've got crews of people for the last month or more working on every day. Some 20 years later, August 29th, the old K word special. It's going to be in every newscast all week long. Some stations are going to have like a 30-minute, 1-hour special reliving that crap. No, thank you. Don't want to watch Pearl Harbor. Don't want to watch 9/11. I've seen it. Been there, done that, like most of us. Don't need to relive Camille or Betsy from the 60s. I'm going to relive something from 20 years ago. But that's just me. You know, different strokes for different folks. Some of you probably are going to embrace all that programming. Want to relive that. Want to look and see it's 20 years later where we were, where we've come, all that, you know. Not me. I was watching, I said yesterday, like Newsmax or News Nation, one of them, Cuomo, whatever one he's on. And every commercial break, the News Nation special for 20 years ago, New Orleans, August 29th, the K word. I'm like, News Nation didn't even exist until a few years ago. Where'd you buy the footage? Who sold you the footage? You know, it's just like, I hear you. I'm not dogging any news outlet for doing this. It's almost like required. If I ran a news outlet, I'm not paying attention, but you guys need to do this. No, a week from today, I'm glad it's a Friday because we'll pull our usual Fantasy Friday gimmick. Fletcher Mackel, Fridays with Fletch, Michael Hecht. Maybe get Scott Craig on from Katie's, Francesca Deli, a couple of yats chopping it up. Yeah, it's going to be our usual Fantasy Friday a week from today. No different. And no, I won't be discussing it. And what's ironic is I was there before, during, after the storm, literally hundreds of stories, probably a good 30 days straight before I took a break from covering that storm, maybe sometime in October. And a lot of compelling, interesting stories, no doubt. I won't be telling them. No, believe me, you got enough coverage everywhere else. Don't need me talking about it. Plus, I honestly don't know what we gain from it. You know, I don't want to repeat history. We got a $14 billion flood wall levee protection system surrounding New Orleans. I'm not saying it's perfect. We need to keep going. It's like crime's down. That doesn't mean you stop. You got to keep fighting crime. Got to keep building levees, flood walls, check them, make sure everything's right. I mean, look at the pump stations that were built, and within a few years, the pumps are rusted and corroded. Army Corps of Engineers, federal government, bureaucracy, red tape, not efficient, oftentimes not effective. So no, I got to stay on top of all that. But we've learned a big lesson. One thing that's most disappointing, I mean, instead of looking back, I'll look forward. Google Wagoner and Ball New Orleans water plan. It's like a decade old. Like we should be 10, 12 years into implementing this plan because it's going to take decades to build all these water features and retention ponds. But if you go to that website, you look at the renderings, you're like, man, that is a people magnet, that retention pond, that water feature. I'm not going on the Elysian Fields neutral ground ever. There are no human beings on the neutral ground on Elysian Fields from the lake pretty much all the way till you get maybe some folks, you know, panhandling around Elysian Fields and Claiborne's, maybe Elysian Fields and St. Claude. You might get some panhandlers there, but otherwise there's no one on the neutral ground essentially from the river to the lake on Elysian Fields. that Wagner and Ball water, master plan for New Orleans, that's a linear canal. That's a linear snaking water feature from the river to the lake with all kind of pampas grass and cypress trees and benches and jogging paths and fishing piers and all kind of incredible, beautiful stuff that would draw people to the neutral ground. It's going to be, a water feature, retention pond, draining water from the streets, from the neighborhoods, instead of going into your car, your home, your business, goes in these retention ponds, which would be lowered a day, 2, 3 days before the storm that's predicted to come rolling through comes rolling through. They've already lowered the water table. So that's something we should be embracing, and it's sinful that we haven't, working with water instead of against it. I look at like that Hain, New Orleans East flood wall along the train tracks. It's not people friendly. It's the opposite. It's a wall. They don't even have like a flat surface where you can run or jog, no benches, nothing, no view of the lake. It's crazy. No more money would have to be spent, just a little bit different changes in the architecture. All the concrete's there, everything is just changing it a little flatter in one spot, having a little elevated spot over the flood wall where folks can view the lake. No, it's working with the water, not against it. It's sinful. I mean, it's a beautiful area, and it's all blocked off with that wall. The folks over there can't cross Hain Boulevard and go enjoy the lakefront. It's crazy. Crazy. That, Great Wall of St. Bernard, that like 1.5, 2 mile, $1 billion storm surge protection wall, incredible. It's like so wide, you can it's like 2 lanes wide. You can drive like a vehicle or 2 on it. Why isn't that open to the public for fishing and all kind of stuff, recreational stuff? It's crazy. Crazy. Corey Johnson with you on a Friday. No, a week from today, we will not be looking back 20 years. Won't be doing it. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Fridays with Fletch. A lot coming your way.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com. Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you on a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Fridays with Fletch, a full 30 minutes coming your way, about 10 minutes away. From about 4:30 to 5 o'clock, 30 good minutes, Fridays with Fletch, and a lot to discuss. Yeah, we're a couple of yats. We'll chop it up a little bit. Not too long. Maybe what have you had to eat recently, Fletch, that's good? Something like that. But mostly we'll talk about a week from tomorrow. Tomorrow, in a week, 11 a.m., Uptown New Orleans, Tulane takes on Northwestern, game 1 of 12 regular season games, a highly anticipated season. Expectations are real, and there should be expectations, and they're high, like 11-1, something like that. John Sumrall seems to have a really complete team. Depth, good offensive, defensive lines, both starting units and depth. Lots of players that are going to emerge because there's so much talent that aren't, quote, starters day one, that'll all of a sudden be starting and playing later in the season and contributing and doing a lot. Got this BYU quarterback that had BYU 11-2 last year and 7th in the country at one point. Things are looking really good, exciting in Uptown on Willow Street, Ben Weiner Drive, with John Sumrall at the controls of the football program, in spite of Tulane's athletic department lacking any type of a sense of urgency. That's still a problem. It's mind-blowing to me as a off the air, like a Wave fan. I got my Angry Wave right there, the best logo in all of college, the Angry Wave. It's New Orleans. It's our Division I football program, outdoor stadium, great college environment. If you've never been, you're like, it's only got 25, 30,000 seats. You've never been, you don't know. It's not like a high school game. It's color, it's pageantry, it's college. It's great. It's a great environment at Yeoman. Go next Saturday morning at 11 a.m. You'll see. You'll go, Corey's right. College atmosphere, outdoor stadium in New Orleans. We're lucky. Just a few miles from the Dome. It's great. No, but that athletic department, the bubble on Claiborne they're building, it should be ants on a sugar cube. Let's get this bad boy built for John Sumrall. Show the coach we're committed. And they're not. They're showing the coach the door. And the football operations center, forget about there's a light at the end of the tunnel. They're about to break ground on that. There's not even the tunnel entrance known to Tulane Athletics. They don't even know how to get to the entrance, much less where the light is. The indoor bubble should already be built. Should have been open over a year ago, over on that field by the Riley Center. $3 to $5 million bubble should have been opened a year ago. And what you're seeing on Claiborne, this slow build of the bubble, that should be a fast build of the football operations center in that spot or next to Yeoman, wherever Tulane wants to build it. But it's one major project, one major construction project, one major important facility behind, and it's the big one. The indoor football bubble, that's easy. That's $5 to $7 million now. That's simple. The $150 million football operations center, that's a little harder. And it makes Tulane Title IX compliant so they could go to the ACC or something like that. That's where I'd like to see him go, the ACC, with North Carolina, with Duke, with UVA, with Wake Forest, with these Georgia Tech, these academic schools that also play sports pretty damn well. That Tulane's just a natural fit. And I'm the ACC. I get Louisiana and New Orleans. All those teams can recruit, all that, so that's a no-brainer. But hard to do it when you're not Title IX compliant. Hard to do it when your football program is just coaches coming in and out, and word on the street is they leave because there's no sense of urgency in the athletic department. I mean, you think the athletic department would have got the message with Willie Fritz going to Houston like a slap in the face, and they did not get it. You think they would have used the momentum from that Cotton Bowl win, one of the best, if not the single greatest college football games I've ever watched in my life. You think they would have used that momentum? No. Tulane Athletics has this like New Orleans, Louisiana type mentality. React instead of being proactive. What can we get away with instead of what can we do? No, and it shows. Their slip is showing, and they do not care. They want people they can control. There's lots of politics and inside BS of how we can half-ass it. Seriously. That should be Tulane's athletic department's motto, how we half-ass it. Because John Sumrall, I mean, to keep him around, you're talking about maybe doubling his salary. You're talking about, John, we're going to break ground on this $150 million indoor football facility, or we'll pay you X amount of dollars. I mean, I don't know how to do it. But Tulane needs to get a, hot poker, hitting them on the backside, get them motivated, for crying out loud. It's sinful. Finally have a viable football program, and Tulane Athletics Department's trying to blow it. The blueprint on how to screw it up. It's mind-blowing. It's mind-boggling. No, thank God for John Sumrall. He's a total friggin' winner. That guy's an ace. He's deadly. He's a competitor. And he's smart, and he's young, and he's motivated, and he has a sense of urgency, and he loves Tulane, and he loves uptown New Orleans. Like, he gets us. He wants to be here. And Tulane's sort of showing him the door indirectly. Hey, Greenwave, major college programs are going to come calling. They're going to come calling for John Sumrall. It might have been last year already at North Carolina. You could argue they screwed up going to get Belichick, who's 70-something dating a 20-something-year-old. They got that. Who knows how Belichick's going to do at North Carolina? Who knows? Is he going to do better than Mac Brown? I mean, Belichick didn't do anything in the NFL without Brady. Didn't do anything in the NFL without Brady. You can't say that about Saints coach Sean Payton. For a little while, it's like, man, how did you not have a quarterback on the roster ready to replace Breeze? How in the, life of me do you not have NFL quarterbacks that you drafted or brought into the Saints, built them up, and then another team, traded for them or signed them via free agency? How don't you have QBs littered around the league, either as starters or backups? But he goes to Denver. He gets Bo Nix. He uses his way of analyzing quarterbacks. Bo Nix was the guy, and that guy played really well. I mean, he didn't play like Jaden Daniels, the Heisman winner at DC, but pretty damn close. And a lot of folks are like, oh, a sophomore slump. The opposite. It's Sean Payton and Bo Nix. They're going to take it up to another level, and something he never had in New Orleans ever. Never had in New Orleans. Denver has a great defense. Not good, not very good. A great defense, a Sean Payton, Bo Nix-led offense. Denver's going to win 12, 13 games this year. No, Belichick at North Carolina, I have no idea. Hope for the best. I'm not against Belichick, but maybe Sumrall would have been the call. North Carolina, major program like that, might be able to keep a Sumrall for a long, long time. But then again, North Carolina's not nirvana in college football. Maybe a major program hires him away from North Carolina. Maybe that's just a stepping stone. Maybe they felt we could get the old man. He ain't going anywhere. Anyway, a week from tomorrow, 11 a.m. in Uptown, Tulane Northwestern. Cha-ching. A week from tomorrow night, as good as it gets. I mean, I guess the premier college game is Arch Manning in number 1 Texas at number 2 Ohio State. That's the premier game, I guess. I'm not going to be, unobjective about it. But 6th ranked Clemson with a first-round NFL quarterback, with depth at wide receiver, with a bunch of All-American, All-ACC types on the defensive side of the ball. Number 6 Clemson. Looks like Dabo Swinney's got a pretty complete team. They're hosting number 9 LSU. And Brian Kelly, he's been talking up the Tigers. Offensive line's going to be stout, and it's 4 out of 5 players are new. But, boy, he nailed the transfer portal, number 1 transfer portal class. He nailed the recruiting class again. And unlike last year where they brought in guys, you had one from like Appalachian State, Wyoming, Wisconsin, something, to come in and start on the D-line. The people they're bringing in now, they're going to start on the D-line are legitimate starters, like not just filling a gap, but players you would have recruited day one and, built up and put on that D-line. No, the transfers, you're going to have like a half dozen, maybe 7 or 8 transfer portal guys starting for LSU. And then the younger guys are getting a lot of reps and getting depth. So now there's some depth on the O and D lines at LSU. And boy, they go deep at wide receiver, like 5 or 6. You got an All-American first-round draft choice at quarterback in Nussmeier. No, Brian Kelly's best team. Like Tulane, there are expectations. Expecting LSU to win 10 games. You better win 10 games. It's almost like you better make the playoffs. But first things first, Brian Kelly's never won an opener yet. He's 0 for 3? Got to take that victory a week from Saturday night on the road at that other Death Valley, the other Tigers, Clemson. Now, that's as good as it gets. Next Saturday morning, Tulane Northwestern at Yeoman. And next Saturday night, LSU at Clemson. Yeah, you right. Saints winding down September 7th, just a few Sundays away in the Dome. Arizona coming to town. Who will be starting at quarterback? The Saints are the only team that does not have an official starter quarterback. All 31 NFL teams, you know who the starter is going to be. The Saints, it's still up in the air. If Rattler comes out and has just a little bit better game than Shuck, he's starting. If Shuck comes out, I think it has just a little bit better game than Rattler, Rattler still may start against Arizona. And the only reason I would say that is because Rattler's got 5 starts already under his belt. He's improved since last year. Shuck's a rookie. You don't want to throw him in the fire day one and break him. If you ask me, unless Rattler just has a terrible game, final preseason game, he'll be the starter. And then if Rattler struggles, you can put Shuck in.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's called more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you on a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. We've got him all the way till 5 o'clock. And that's a good thing because so much is going on. A week from tomorrow with the college teams. September 7th, Arizona in the Dome. Fridays with Fletch. Fletcher Mackel joins us from WDSU Channel 6. What up, Fletch?
Not a lot, Corey. What's up?
Same old thing. Eat anywhere good lately?
I'm sorry?
Eat anywhere good lately?
No, I have to admit, I've been very busy with work the last couple of weeks. So I've been kind of hunkered down, not doing a lot.
I'm guessing, I call it the K word because I don't even want to say it. I'm guessing Channel 6, like 46826, NOLA.com, all of them. Lots of preparation for a week-long 20-year look back on August 29th?
Yes. It's definitely, yes, it's a lot of Katrina coverage. We have 5 special shows coming up next week, Monday through Friday at 6:30. And look, my brother and I were here like you. I know you were on the ground covering it. So, for a lot of us, it's like 9/11 for New Yorkers. It's obviously one of those life-changing experiences for the whole city. So you want to make sure it's done right. So it's been a lot of busy work. And I'm sure, whether I'm not one of these people who's like, do I feel something? Let me think about it. But I'm sure subconsciously, that brings back memories and triggers emotions and stuff like that.
Yeah, no doubt. Boy, a legitimate sports story. I mean, it's pretty amazing when you think about this. I'm running around the city and Fletcher and Travers are running around the city. Travers doing his news stuff, Fletcher doing news stuff. But in the middle of it, Fletch, like in early September, you broke that Saints story that Tom Benson, like in the bowels of some like water plant, and some with a big desk and all the Saints people around it. Basically, Tom Benson said, we're a Texas team now. And Saints are an incorporated Texas team today. They're incorporated in the state of Texas. I don't know why, I guess for tax purposes or something. But he's like, we're a Texas team, and we're going to be staying in San Antonio, and we may be here permanently. And Arnie Philco kind of freaked out. Everybody else was kind of playing the Donald Trump game, J.D. Vance, all these guys kind of kissing the president's rear end. Arnie Philco, I might get sent to the gulag. And he did. He got fired eventually for it. He was like, man, New Orleans is in trouble. This is no time to think about that. And thank goodness the old commissioner,
Tagliabue.
Yeah, Tagliabue with Roger Goodell at his side. We're like, we're not pulling the Saints out of New Orleans. And you kind of broke that story because I remember you broke it. I started throwing it out there. That's how WWL Radio got it. And then it kind of took off.
Yeah, and I'll say this. I don't necessarily know if I need credit for like breaking it, but I do think there were some of us talking about it. And I'll say this. I still don't know exactly because it's not exactly a great time in Saints history. So they don't exactly talk about it, celebrate it, hey, here's the real truth behind it. I do know that there were real conversations, are we going back? Are we not? What are we doing? And I do think the history of it, look, leading up in 04 and 05, Tom Benson had a difficult relationship with the state. Kathleen Blanco became the governor. She was not a New Orleans person. She had talked about no more annuity payments. They were at a tenuous spot. And then Katrina hits, and obviously Benson relocates to San Antonio where he has ties. I never... Behind closed doors, I'm sure that stuff happened. But what you're talking about is we're a Texas team now. I still have never had anybody tell me point blank that he publicly said that. But obviously, the silence spoke volumes of not committing to New Orleans. In being in San Antonio, that sent the message that was loud and clear of we're not sure about going back. And I do know that Tagliabue and Goodell were very instrumental in making sure that this team came back here. So were a handful of owners like Jerry Jones and Bob Kraft, and McNair in Houston was very instrumental in making sure that they came back and at least gave New Orleans a chance. And once they did, the rest is history. The market sold a record number of season tickets. Peyton Breeze, from worst to first, and then since then, it's been nothing but roses for the most part.
And a Super Bowl appearance, today, 20 years later, about $1 billion in the Dome. I mean, you remember that first initial pop to get it back on its feet, and now this, get it going again pop that they just did, 450 more million. What, 2 Super Bowls too? So I would say smart move by everybody involved, keeping that team here. I used to get nervous about it, Fletch, because that was back when you remember Philco was doing these like informative seminars. I remember going out to Saints camp with all the media and informing folks about stadiums, like trying to educate the media of how, because it was beyond just X's and O's and covering sports. It's other cities are having to build stadiums for these teams, or the teams will move, and they were kind of educating us on that. You remember the Riverfront Stadium, the stadium at the Iberville Housing Project. I remember Buddy D was talking about a stadium in Mississippi. I remember just going button heads with Buddy on that. So a lot was going on back then. And Philco was kind of trying to educate everybody. So, yeah, there was a lot of, are the Saints going to be here? Are they not? One could argue that 20 years ago saved the team. All this money comes in to renovate the Dome, all those types of thing, and it keeps the Saints in New Orleans. So one could argue that K word from 20 years ago saved the Saints indirectly.
Yeah, no, you're right. And again, you and I have talked about this. I don't know what would have happened with the Saints and the Pelicans, but I know they were trending in the wrong direction. You had a governor that didn't care about New Orleans for all practical purposes, certainly didn't care about pro sports here. You had a basketball owner that was struggling financially. You had an NFL owner that was flirting with other cities and other markets. I remember the Bill Richardson Albuquerque Saints type stuff that was thrown out there. And so, wow. It was a difficult spot, and Katrina kind of galvanized everybody. And look, it didn't happen right away, but once Benson came back and committed, in December of 05. Look where we are now. It's the Saints and the Pelicans that want to commit long term. I mean, right now, Mrs. Benson wants a deal, 20 to 30 years to lock it in, and it's the state that's dragging their feet now. I mean, that is a huge pivot from 20 to 25 years ago, right before Katrina, right during Katrina, of the Saints soft on New Orleans and Louisiana. Now, not that the state is soft on the Saints, but Governor Landry probably realizes their lease isn't up till 2030. We're going to get a deal done. But it's the Saints that are banging the drum right now. Get our long-term lease done because everybody's happy. They want to be here. They've invested long-term. There's no more of this kind of, this adversarial talk of we'll leave, we'll go to another market. We need this. They're all one now, which is great for the fan base. But yeah, it's you're right. Katrina changed a lot, and it was a dark hour after the storm. But 20 years later, I think the state and the organizations and the city, how they work together, are in a much better place.
And hopefully we get that next Super Bowl sooner than later. What are they talking, like 2031, 2032 maybe?
Yeah, something in there. I was told that trying to put a date on it is hard. 30 would probably be way too soon. 31 is the wheelhouse, but the NFL, I don't think they want to be told what to do.
Yeah.
You'll remember when New Orleans won the Super Bowl to coincide with the 300th anniversary of the city. We thought that was a slam dunk, and the NFL gave that game to Minneapolis. So again, I think it's going to happen again, be it 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. We're getting another game. Just how soon is it going to be? Is it going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years from when we just hosted the one in 25? But again, I think there is going to be one on the horizon.
All right, Fletch. The quarterback situation, it appears to be sort of equal. I'd say the guy who's doing best last is the one that has an edge. So I would give Rattler an edge right now. Unless he just has a horrible outing in the final preseason game and Shuck has some phenomenal one. I think Rattler's going to start because he's a second-year player. He's got 5 years of experience, 5 games of experience. You don't have to throw this rookie in the fire and crush his ego or, demoralize him, make him doubt what he can do. Rattler goes in there, plays well. He keeps the starting gig. Rattler struggles. Shuck comes in with no pressure off the bench. So that's how I think it's going to go down. Shuck could have a slightly better final game than Rattler, and I still think Rattler will be the starter. I think Rattler would have to have a crap game and Shuck just a phenomenal one for him to be the starter against Arizona on September 7th. And I think Rattler's going to be the guy with Shuck, taking over if Rattler struggles. What do you think?
Look, you may be 100% right, and I think that is a valid theory, and you explain it well. I disagree. I think that if it's even remotely close, Tyler Shuck is the starter.
Wow.
I think they've wanted to name Tyler Shuck the starter, and he has not taken the reins, and I think that they are neck and neck, but I think they are looking for any reason to make Tyler Shuck the starter. And so, yeah. So I think if it's even, it's Tyler Shuck.
Because Kellen Moore, it's his guy. He drafted him. Rattler was already on the roster, and they still drafted a quarterback, that kind of thing?
Yeah, look, if Rattler was their guy and they loved him, they would have said, look, we really believe in this guy. And we can use that value pick at 40 someplace else, and we're going to go into the season with Spencer Rattler. We saw a few glimpses last year. We're going to give him a chance. We don't love the quarterback class this year at 9, even though I thought Jackson Dart should have gone 9.
I was about to give you some props on that.
At 9, then at 40, they could have had Mason Taylor at 40. You know what I mean? They need a tight end right now.
No, you're right. You're right.
Body receiver.
Yep. Hang on a sec, Fletch. I'm going to knock out this quick break. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come right back. Okay. More Fridays with Fletch. Don't move.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Another edition of Fridays with Fletch. Fletcher Mackel's with us. Hey, Fletch, before we get back into it, your brother, 20 years ago, next Friday, y'all were all over this. Channel 6 is going to have a lot of coverage all week of the K word, and a lot of it involves you and your brother. And you've been posting some little teasers on Twitter.
I have. Are we not talking about Tyler Shuck anymore? Or back to
No,
Katrina?
I'm going to get back into that. I just wanted to give you a plug now so we don't have to jam in it at the
My brother and I
end.
were both here. Like I said, I know you were here. We crossed paths a couple of times. You know, when you were covering it, we were all covering it. But yeah, so it's one of those things. Yeah, we're my brother and I are the only 2 on-air people who are still left, here at WDSU, because obviously 20 years later, other people have just moved on or retired. So you'll be seeing, especially next week, a lot of the coverage from WDSU here. 5 days next week, 6:30 every single day, Monday through Friday. We have a special half-hour show covering different topics dedicated to Katrina.
Plus little bits and pieces during every newscast, I would assume, right?
Yeah, I mean, like 40 individual reports that are going to be airing on all of our platform of newscasts on top of those 30 half-hour shows every day. So, look, it's a lot, but I mean, look, this was a life-changing experience for so many people. So I feel like we'd be doing an injustice if we didn't talk about things that have changed, good, bad, and otherwise in the 20 years.
Your Shuck argument's pretty strong.
Well, let me just say this. Here's the thing. I don't disagree with what you're saying. And I really like Spencer Rattler. He's a good dude. And I think he's a solid player. And if he's the starter, good. I hope they win games with him. I just feel like if Tyler, this is the biggest thing, the biggest question. And I understand the Saints sometimes are very short-sighted. And sometimes they make moves and you go, man, where's the long-term vision? But to me, the biggest problem would be with and look, Spencer Rattler may play great, Shuck may play terrible, and then it's clear Rattler's the guy. But if it's even neck and neck, still remains neck and neck, I think it's going to be Shuck. And here's my thought on the quarterback, Spencer Rattler. Kellen Moore told me in a one-on-one interview that I did with him that the quarterback is going to get runway. This isn't going to be 1 week you're the guy, but you may not be the guy. He said, we don't want the quarterback looking over his shoulder. We don't want crazy pressure.
Smart.
We're making a decision. This is our quarterback, and we're rallying around this person. I think they're going to give this player, be it Tyler Shuck or Spencer Rattler, the first 10 games. Their bye is in week 11, and they're giving that quarterback ample opportunity, and they don't want whoever it is, they don't want that person thinking, if I throw an interception, I'm getting yanked. Okay, because that's a crap organization. That's a bad organization. That's what bad programs do. So if it's Rattler for the first 10 weeks. Now look, if the Saints are 2-8, you can pull the plug on Spencer Rattler and go to Tyler Shuck. But let me ask you this: what if the Saints are 4-6 and Rattler hasn't been good, but he hasn't been bad?
You got to stick with him.
If they're 4-6,
stick with him,
and he's gritty and gutty, and you pull him, you lose the locker room. And guys will be like, man, why is he losing his job? Just so he can play the rookie to see him play? That's the problem. So, like, if you land on Spencer Rattler, and he's okay, but not good, not bad, and you're 4-6, and you're not good, but you're not out of it, and do you go forward with him the rest of the year? Do you pull the plug and aggravate your players that have rallied behind Spencer Rattler? That's why I think as long as they are on equal footing after Saturday, it's Tyler Shuck. So it's not Tyler Shuck has to throw 3 touchdowns and Rattler has to throw 3 picks on Saturday.
I got you.
If they're on equal footing, I think it's Tyler Shuck.
Hey, a week from tomorrow, 11 a.m. in Uptown, you'll be there. The Wave taking on Northwestern of Chicago. Summerall's got a complete team, huh, Fletch? I mean, offensive line, defensive line, skill players, depth all across the team. Some unique players that can do special things. And now they've got a really good quarterback too. That was their only missing piece when Mensa, the all-conference kid, went to Duke for $8 million.
Yeah, I mean, look, he lost Mackel Hughes, who was a really good running
No
back,
doubt,
too.
no doubt.
But I think they've got some depth. You know, Arnold Barnes and some of the guys he's got back there are really good. But I think you're right. I think that he hit the portal and did a great job. And I think that, look, and you and I have talked about this before, I think John Summerall is the best non-Power 4 coach in the country, the group of 5. I think he's the best coach in the country. And, yeah, I think, look, Brendan Sullivan was giving Retzloff everything he could handle, but I think it's going to be Retzloff now because Sullivan's hurt. But, yeah, they're loaded, and I think they should win their conference. And if they win their conference, they need to win. Because, look, the committee said, the college football playoff committee has said they're going to look at strength of schedule. What Tulane can't do is lose 2 of their 3 games. They've got to find a way. And I know that's hard to tell them right away. Win your conference first. And oh, by the way, beat Northwestern and Duke. You can lose to Ole Miss, or beat Northwestern and pull a major upset on Ole Miss, and then you can lose to Duke. They can't lose all 3 of those games. They'll never get in if they lose.
Can't lose 2 of the 3 games, right?
What?
Can't lose 2 of the 3.
I think they can lose. Hear me out. I think you're right. They can't lose 2 of the 3. They can only lose 1 of the 3.
Yep.
What I'm saying is they could have another loss somewhere along the way as long as they still find a way to win their conference. If they beat 2 Power 5 teams, if they beat Northwestern and Duke, and their only loss is against Ole Miss.
They're in the playoff.
They're in.
They're in the playoff, no doubt. Hey,
I think they could even stumble in conference once, still win their conference. But if they've got 2 Power 5 wins at 10-2, they still get in. But they can't lose. And look, we're going to know. They play these games in the beginning of their season.
Yeah, no, you're right. It'll be done by September. We'll know everything by early October. Hey, Fletch, you got about 30 seconds. Obviously, Arch Manning, number 1 Texas at number 2 Ohio State's the national game of the week. But number 6 Clemson hosting number 9 LSU is pretty damn close.
Those are the 2 biggest games of the week. I can't wait to see Arch in the horseshoe, and I can't wait to see because Clemson is awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. So I can't wait to see what LSU is.
No, and like you said with Brian Kelly, if not now, when?
Yeah, this is it. This is your chance. This is the best chance you're going to have for a while.
You got to win that season opener for once, right?
I think yes, not mandatory, but if you win the season opener, you're in cruise control for the playoffs.
Yeah, no, exactly. You got something going. You don't have to, double bogey on the first hole and par in.
Still be fine.
Yep. But better than not getting a double on the first hole and having to par in,
All right.
Anyway. All right, Fletch, Blue Boys barking. We'll check you out next Friday.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're right. Fridays with Fletcher Mackel. Now, I'm not going to be watching a lot of that K stuff, but next week, Channel 6 has got a lot of stuff in the can. They're going to do a great high-quality production job, and Fletcher and Travers were out there that whole time. So a lot of good stuff on Channel 6 if you're interested in that. 5 o'clock powwow now.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa, and now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Yes, and yes. 5 o'clock powwow, a Fantasy Friday. You darn tootin', Mr. Drew Brees. It is, in fact, New Orleans, Louisiana, and the weekend is upon us. Fantastic. Now, I never get into personal stuff too much, but it's sort of not about me. It's about them. My niece, Emery, and her boyfriend, Drew, getting married tomorrow. Went to the rehearsal dinner last night. Just great being with family, friends, meeting new people. Nothing like it. And a nice setting, a nice venue for the rehearsal dinner, good New Orleans food and great New Orleans vibe. And you know, yesterday, 6:30, 7 o'clock, cloud cover, like 85 degrees. So yeah, everybody kind of going from the car into the courtyard into the venue, not sweating or perspiring through your clothes, on your face, none of that. It was as nice an August afternoon or evening as you're going to find in New Orleans. So everything went off well, and little party tonight, and then tomorrow the wedding. So congratulations to Emery and Drew, my new what would that be, nephew-in-law, my niece's husband, nephew-in-law, something like that. Corey Johnson with you on a Fantasy Friday, 5 o'clock powwow, a ding ding, toot toot, blowing that 5 o'clock whistle right now. We do it every Friday, a little after 5 p.m., because I think most of us, we just kind of, myself included, life's fast, just rolling along. But I like recognizing right now, because it's a little after 5 o'clock on a Friday, which means for most of us, 100% of the work week's in the books. And for most of us, the entire weekend is in front of us. And it goes by quick. Like in 5 minutes, it'll be Monday morning. You know what I mean? I'll be back in this seat 4 o'clock Monday, and that'll be like that. Like in 15 minutes, it feels like. Now, thank goodness, 2 days of the work week, at least in my mind, 2 days of the work week goes by quicker than 2 days of the weekend, but everything goes by fast, huh? Especially as you get older. I forget who it was. Some Ivy League school, I think, did a study, and it's legitimate. They brought in people for a study. They brought in like 25, 30 people, and they were all like under 30 years old, and they put them in a room. So study's going to start in a second. We'll be right back. And they left. In another room, they put over 60-year-old people. So under 30 in one room, over 60 in the other. They came back 15 minutes later. 15 minutes later. When they walked in the room with the under 30 folks, some were kind of, squirming in their chairs, like anxious, like, when are we getting this thing going? I want my money. When are we doing this study? And then they just came in there and they either asked everyone individually or passed out a little card. And how long do you think we've been away? Just now. And the under 30-year-olds were like 27 minutes, 30 minutes, 25 minutes, 35 minutes. All double or more, at least more than the 50 minutes. No one was like 18 minutes, 20 minutes. They're all like north of 20 minutes. And the people were gone for 15 minutes. When they went in the room with the over 60 crowd, 7 minutes, 6 minutes, 8 minutes, 9 minutes. It was all way below 15 minutes. So no, for the youngsters, time goes by a little slower. As we get older, time appears to go by faster. That's all. We all know it's all the same. It doesn't speed up or slow down, but just pretty interesting. The under 30 crowd, man, we're waiting at 28 minutes, 32 minutes. Oh, it's been 15 minutes. Calm down. And the over 60 crowd, 7 minutes, 6 minutes. No, it was 15. It was 15. Anyway, the 5 o'clock whistle on a Friday, appropriately brought to you by Katie's in Mid-City, as New Orleans as it gets. New Orleans can be tough. We got so many great restaurants. Like, where am I going to go for dinner tonight? Where am I going for lunch? Where am I going for dinner? Where am I going for lunch? I mean, sometimes it's like a daily dilemma. When's the last time you popped into Katie's in Mid-City? Iberville, corner Telemachus. You know the drill. Lots of local fresh seafood, great New Orleans specialties, big portions, great for sharing. A true taste of New Orleans. In Mid-City, a Mid-City mainstay. Tonight for dinner, make it Katie's. 5 o'clock whistle, appropriately brought to you by Katie's in Mid-City. 1 week from today, next Friday, is August 29th. Most folks in New Orleans know that date, like December 7th, January 11th. 1 week from today, this Friday, August 29th. I'm glad that date this year falls on a Friday because we're doing our regular show, Fridays with Fletch. The usual deal. Michael Heck, Greater New Orleans Inc. Won't be telling stories, won't be looking back. I'm not for or against it, and everybody's going to do what they want to do. I just hyped Fletcher Mackel and Channel 6 doing that, 20 years ago, the K word. They're doing stuff all week long, and they're going to get huge ratings and viewers on it because it's 1 week and it's done. For me personally, been there, done that. I don't get any positive out of that. I'm going to spend my time doing something else, but they're going to get monster ratings. Folks love this stuff. If I ran a station, I'd be like, guys, we've got to cover that K words 20 years later. I won't be watching, but do a good job. Yeah, I'm not interested in checking that out. Been there, done that. A week ago today, Junket Cantrell indicted. 1 week ago today. Huge story. In 19 days, 2 weeks from this Wednesday, her arraignment in federal court on Poydras. The mayor, Junket Cantrell, will be walking up those steps with her attorney. Officer Vappy, former NOPD Officer Vappy, will be walking up the steps with his attorney. And it'll be their arraignment. Hopefully, I mean, my God, if it, there's always the thought of anywhere USA in these situations, it is a mayor. Travel is part of their job. And with some mayors in some cities, it is. They actually travel, for the benefit of the city, not a junket, and they're going somewhere to try to lure in jobs. Like Jeff Landry went to Korea, and they bring in a Hyundai steel plant, $5 billion. So that wasn't a junket. That was real work. LaToya Cantrell, Junket Cantrell, she loves to travel on the city's dime, hence the nickname. Considering the 18-count indictment, 11 directly to the mayor, considering it's Vappy involved, considering it's mentioning 14 trips and $70,000 in taxpayer money spent, considering she is Junket Cantrell, I don't see how in her arraignment she is allowed to travel. Normally, travel is restricted automatically. It's almost automatic where you have to stay within the Eastern District of Louisiana. I hope and pray just that LaToya Cantrell, it would just be justice. It'd be the right thing to do. It's what the citizens demand, that she be grounded, that she can't travel anymore. She can't travel anymore. And the court date will be after she gets out of office in January. So there would be no more junkets, zero. She couldn't even pay for the trip herself. Can't leave the Eastern District of Louisiana. That's clearly what the court should do next 2 weeks from this Wednesday. And then they can even say, Mayor, you have something important out of town that you know is vital for the city's interest. Just request the travel and we'll take a look at what you're sending into us. We'll review it and we'll decide if you can go or not. That's the way to go. 19 days, Junket Cantrell will be arraigned in federal court on Poydras Street. Yeah, no more travel. Come on. That goes in the no friggin' brainer category. Boy, a major explosion. Tangipahoa Parish, Roseland, right off US 51. This Smitty's Supply, Inc. It's basically like a small tank farm. And Smitty's, I guess, is a middleman. And they hold all kind of different, fluids in these tanks. It could be oil or gas, raw crude or gasoline, or I think they said lighter fluid for charcoal held in these tanks. Different chemicals are held in these tanks. They had a major explosion and an absurdly deep, dark, black plume of smoke that is thick and dense and wide pouring out of that facility. Flames, orange flames everywhere, and other tanks that haven't been compromised yet sitting right next to the flames. Like, are they going to heat up and have another explosion? And then people, at least on social media, and there's video showing it, people talking, I live 4 or 5 miles from Smitty's. Like, they know it. They know the place. And they're like, there is black, all over the ground. My white dog is now black. Like, this black plume of smoke is floating, and then whatever the chemicals are, the ash, the solid pieces, whatever, are floating back down to earth, and it can't be good. And you don't have to be in the plume, just the chemicals go beyond the plume. So anyone in that area needs to get the hell out of Dodge. Come into New Orleans for the night. Stay at a hotel in New Orleans. Go to a nice restaurant. Get away.
One of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Everybody's got problems. Mayor indicted. Scott Craig went to Brother Martin. Everybody's got problems. There he is.
The jealousy is just unbelievable. Every time you come on the air with me, it's about Martin. I mean, you know, Corey, you probably could have gotten in there just because of who your dad was.
Well, I was going to go to Brother Martin to play sports, but my parents were like, they don't have academics there. That's a sports thing, like Rummel. You got to go to De La Salle where it's actually an education. So that's why I went there.
Hold on, bro. So they sent you to De La Salle for academics.
Come on. It's old Catholic League Ribbon Day, Scott. You know that. Hey, for me, Bromo, Jesuit, Shaw, Rummel, St. Aug. The hell with those places.
I don't know, man. We're all pretty good.
No, I love the old Catholic League. Didn't you?
Yeah, we all got great educations. There's no question.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm a Catholic guy.
What's that?
I'm a Catholic League guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, me too. Me too. Hey, Scott, a week ago today, Junket Cantrell indicted.
Well, yeah, she was. I heard about it. We were in California, and just another black eye for the city.
Yep. No, I was saying it's a catch-22. Like, as a citizen, we want the Edwin Edwards, Bill Jefferson, Ilario, these jokers enriching themselves, needs of the few outweighing the needs of the many, setting up friends and family. We want these clowns indicted and put in jail. And so that's a good thing. The bad thing is people around the country aren't seeing that and going, oh, wow, New Orleans is cleaned up its act. They're going, wow, their reputation is that, and there's just more of it.
Yeah, I mean, it started back in the, I don't know, 30s.
Some would say like French and Spanish rule, you know?
Yeah, it's it is what it is. You know, what are we going to do about it? You know, we keep electing people that just make mistakes one after another. And it's just, when I heard about it, I was just like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You know, but when you're doing something wrong, and you know you're doing something wrong, and the city council continually tells you you're doing something wrong.
Yep, exactly. And your advisors and your people, you saw that story this week from Channel 4. All her advisors are telling her she's doing something wrong. Doesn't care. got mad at those advisors for telling him that.
Did they get fired or something?
No, some of them were probably shifted to something else, let go, whatever. But don't be talking about Vappy, all this kind of stuff. And they're like, Mayor, it doesn't look, shut up. She's like cutting them off. So just that belligerent attitude. I mean, the mayor did this to herself. If she did her job and had a low profile, she probably could have got away with all this crap.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
she wouldn't have been a tableau with her boyfriend while she's married on the balcony for everyone to see. She's yucking it up, running around. I'm the mayor of my town. I got the key to the city. I go anywhere I want. And I'm with my boyfriend having an affair. It's insane. I mean, most people that cheat, they try to keep it undercover. Hey, Scott, beat you at the Hampton Inn in Elmwood, something like that. And you're not out of tableau on the friggin' balcony in the quarter.
Yeah, I don't understand it, Corey. When somebody tells you you're doing something wrong and your advisors tell you shouldn't be doing this, you need to stop doing it.
Exactly.
You really need to stop doing it. And I think none of this would have come to fruition had she just stopped.
Exactly. But she couldn't control it.
First class flight to wherever. I'm going to pay for it. Yeah, I get it. I was wrong. But I don't know, man. It's just disappointing.
Yep. 2 weeks from Wednesday, she'll be arraigned at federal court on Poydras. 46826. They'll all be there. Time speaking, snapping photos. It'll be the mayor and her attorney walking up those steps. It'll be Vappy and his attorney walking up those steps. With considering the case, Scott, that we know so far, and I think they're going to be superseding indictments in the future if she doesn't cop a plea deal. There'll be other indictments added to this. But think about what we presently have. It's about Vappy. It's about travel. The indictment mentions 14 trips, $70,000+ in taxpayer money spent just so Vappy could go. If in this arraignment, 2 weeks from Wednesday, she is allowed to travel still, that will be disappointing. I mean, it's Junket Cantrell. Ground her already.
Well, I would think, at this point, she would probably ground herself.
Please, you're stop putting your ethics, moral code, and common sense. Do not apply that to the mayor. Think the opposite. Think if you try to think, Scott, use a little empathy. And what would a deviant do? And then say it. I don't think she's going to ground herself. I made a bet on the air yesterday. Your arm is on a chopping block, Scott, and you got to answer this question right. And it's an answer in the future. The arraignment is 2 weeks from Wednesday. Will LaToya Cantrell, Junket Cantrell, go on a trip either domestically or internationally before that arraignment? And I say she will. Like, maybe you won't. Maybe you don't think she will. But if my arm's on a chopping block and I could physically lose my arm and I've got to make a choice, would she not go or go? I've got to go with she would go. And I'll tell you why. I think because to her, she wants to justify everything. But she'll be like, hey, I'm the mayor and I'm not guilty. And then by going on the trip, she thinks it will show that she's not affected and she's doing her job and, she's not guilty maybe. She seems so unaffected. So I think she's going to go. What do you think? No, that she won't travel in the next week and 2.5 weeks?
Here's what really sucks, Corey.
That we're discussing it?
Well, 3 or 4 years ago, I don't know why she quit coming to Katie's, but she was coming to Katie's quite a bit. And she didn't like the crab cakes or something, so she didn't come back. And I even reached out to her because, she didn't like her crab cakes like I would do any other customer. But I sat and talked with her several times during her first term. And I really liked her. She was really nice personally. So there's just all of this shit, excuse my language, all of this really, it's so disappointing because what's transpired in this second term with all this stuff is really, really disappointing.
Yeah.
And because I thought she was a nice person. I don't know, man. When you fall in love, you really do stupid stuff, you know?
I know. Love, money makes people funny.
Yeah. And it's just really disappointing. I don't want to see her go to jail, you know? But she's got to come up. She's going to have to cop a plea. I mean, she's going to have to.
I think so. I think the feds
They've
are.
got all this evidence. They're going after her because of the way she handled the situation.
Yep, and she's guilty probably. No, I think they're going to be like, here are some superseding indictments. They're coming down the pike, or we can discuss a plea deal right now if you want. Now, in a plea deal, Scott, I don't care how much time, but it better be, 6 months, a year, 20 months. She better serve some jail time if found guilty, because I don't think justice would be served. I talk about that loser, Irvin Mayfield, that trumpeter that no musicians in New Orleans want to work with. They think he's an egomaniacal, deviant, piece of crap. Okay. He gets busted for stealing $1.3 million from the most needy in New Orleans, inner city kids that need the public library. Stole $1.3 million from the public library system. He spent 7 months in Pensacola at Eglin Air Force Base. Tennis, golf, minimum security, flying crawfish on the weekend, have a crawfish boil with the guards. And then and then 3 months at a halfway house in New Orleans. So about 10, 11 months. I've said this many times, Scott. If someone, seriously, Scott, you're going to go to Eglin Air Force Base. You can't leave, but you're going to be there 7 or 8 months. And then after that, you come to New Orleans and you live in a halfway house for like another 90 days. And then when you walk out, we hand you $1.3 million. Do you know how many people in the population would take that deal? Like 80, 90% of the population would take that deal. The point is, justice was not served with Irvin Mayfield only serving 11 months for stealing $1.3 million. He's a scumbag. And
did he give the money back?
No. And here's the worst part. The restitution's $500 a month. So $6,000 a year he's going to be paying. If he lives 50 years, he's going to pay $30,000 back. I mean, he stole $1.3 million. No, he didn't give the money back. He probably has a lot of the money still. That's the crazy part. It's just no justice. And then the worst part, I remember Zulu hired him right when he got out of jail and stuff. I'm like, well, what's wrong with you people? You know how many black musicians, white musicians, Latino, whatever, musicians in New Orleans that want the paycheck, that are legitimate and honest and want to work, that aren't jerks and deviants like Irvin Mayfield, and Zulu hires Irvin Mayfield. I mean, screw him. So the point is, I just want justice, Scott. That's all. I don't want LaToya Cantrell walking with no jail time if she's guilty.
I didn't know. I didn't realize that about Irvin Mayfield.
Oh, yeah. He's a piece of crap. Garbage.
Yeah, I know what he had done, and I heard about that, but I didn't know that he basically didn't serve his time.
No, and I don't know how he got off. He must know some big wig that pulled some strings. I don't know who he knows. And
That's
government.
not supposed to happen.
Of course not. Irvin Mayfield should be in jail right now.
There's no pulling strings.
Nope.
When you're convicted of a crime like that.
No, it's disappointing.
I couldn't pull strings.
No, Walter Reed, the DA in St. Tammany, because of Corona, he got out early. Ray Nagin got out early. No, it's disheartening. It's like, no, white collar crime, it does pay. Go steal from the city of New Orleans. You won't spend much time in jail. No, it's terrible. Scott, I'm going to knock out a quick break. We're coming right back. Yeah. Scott Craig's with us from Katie's. And Francesca Deli in Lakeview. Couple of yats chopping it up from the Catholic League.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet. Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
A major explosion, Tangipahoa Parish, Smitty's Supply in Roseland off US 51. Millions of gallons of chemicals, fuel, could be crude, could be refined gasoline. The article, a couple of different articles I read, Smitty's has tanks filled with lighter fluid for charcoal, all kind of chemicals. There are a bunch of tanks that have ruptured, just plumes of black smoke, orange flames everywhere. And then there are tanks right next to the orange flames that are getting heated up and they could rupture. So a very precarious situation. The black smoke is ridiculously thick and toxic. And folks that live as far 3, 4, 5, 10 miles away from Roseland off US 51 by Smitty's Supply, they're saying black crap is falling out of the sky, covering their car, their house. My white dog is now black puddles everywhere. So if I'm in Tangipahoa Parish, anywhere near Roseland by Smitty's Supply, I'm getting in the car and I'm going to Baton Rouge. I'm going to at least Hammond. I'm coming into New Orleans. I'm going to the casinos on the Gulf Coast. I'm checking in to a hotel at least for one night, if not 2 nights, and I'm getting away because you don't need to be breathing that air. It doesn't matter if you're downwind, upwind, the wind's going to shift. It is a black plume that just looking at it looks insanely toxic. And it is. So my advice, get the hell out of Dodge until this situation is taken care of. Scary stuff, Scott. I'm a nervous Nelly a little bit in this regard. All these train derailments. We have 6 different rail lines that come into New Orleans. I think Chicago's the only city that has more in America. We've got all kind of chemical and, oil and gas, fertilizer plants, all kind of stuff. I mean, if you're some loser terrorist, New Orleans Metro seems like a prime target. So I just keep my fingers crossed that we don't have any derailments or any of that kind of crap.
Yeah, I mean, I've always thought about that. I mean, would we be a target for something like that? That's not really good.
Nope.
But yeah, that's crazy.
Yep.
I heard about that, and I wonder. Nobody was hurt, huh?
No, thank goodness. They at first they didn't know, but now there are no reported fatalities or injuries. Thank God, because it is a massive fire, a big explosion, and hopefully they get it under control. Hey, Scott, I want to talk to you about a week from tomorrow. Green Wave in the morning. A week from tomorrow, Tigers at night. September 7th, Saints. Who's going to be the starting QB? But first, what's going on tonight at Katie's?
We've got the whole menu from the week. Let me look. I got to dig it up. We got.
What are those specials?
I know. I got my specials right here. I just wasn't expecting.
Brother Martin excuses. Brother Martin excuses. Go on, Scott.
I didn't know we were going to the specials. You got me out. You caught me off.
Wow, you own and operate Katie's, and you come up with the specials, Brother Martin.
We got smothered chicken with mashed potatoes and gravy, crawfish etouffee over black and red fish, fried Thai chili chicken sliders, boudin stuffed redfish tonight with a creamy Creole, a little creamy Creole sauce. These are tongue twisters and veggies. And we've got the stuffed eggplant boat with eggplant stuffing, veal parmesan, and for lunch tomorrow, a veal parmesan poor boy. But we got beautiful fresh fish. I couldn't get any crabs this week. I couldn't get any flounder. I was trying, but we just couldn't get any.
What you got? What fish, what seafood do you have?
Red fish, and shrimp and oysters and everything else.
Yep.
Everything's super fresh.
Yep.
But we've got beautiful red fish. I'm trying to get, I'm telling you, it was tough getting fish this week. Tough getting a combination of fish this week, so we just have the red fish. But our red fish is second to none. It's super fresh. Second to none. So,
Scott.
And we do that, red fish nola over veggies with shrimp and crab meat on top. Absolutely delicious.
How do you beat that? Shrimp, crab meat, and a nice fillet of fish. I don't mind the steak fish, but I love fillets better.
It's one of our most popular dishes, believe me.
Gotta
People
be.
love that red fish nola.
Gotta be.
It's incredible, man. Just fresh red fish in New Orleans. It's the best.
Scott Craig's with us from Katie's in Mid-City, Iberville, corner Tallahassee. Get to Katie's tonight. Tomorrow for lunch, tomorrow night for dinner, Sunday brunch, 7 days a week.
Here waiting.
What's that?
I will be here waiting.
Yeah, you're right. Or you'll be at Francesca Deli out in Lakeview. What's happening out there?
I was there all day for lunch.
What's going on out there?
Social media is really helping. Social media is really helping there. It's going well.
That's great.
Today's Seafood Friday. So we do all kinds of different We have seafood gumbo, which is just incredible. And
what's the gumbo all about?
What's the gumbo what?
What's the gumbo all about? Is it different from Katie's gumbo?
It is. It's a seafood gumbo. At Katie's, we do chicken andouille.
That's awesome, man.
We do seafood gumbo as a special at Katie's, but I don't like. We've got so much going on at Katie's. I don't like to have a gumbo sitting on a line where the shrimp shrink, the oysters shrink up.
Yeah.
So we just have so much going on the menu, so it's just hard to keep up and keep it great. But the chicken andouille gumbo does really well. I do is I do like a gumbo yaya.
Yeah,
I do
Commanders.
I do the chicken andouille gumbo, and I add shrimp and oysters to it.
Wow.
And it's absolutely delicious.
That's
it's
fantastic.
So
yeah, I remember Frank Brightson, he was talking about this corn and crawfish soup he makes. And, they're crawfish tails and heads in the, the beginning part, like when he's getting the Holy Trinity going and all that. So the crawfish tails, the fat, all that's in there. But he does the crawfish in a skillet and adds them to the soup right before he serves it. Because of what you were saying. He doesn't want mushy shrimp or powdery. They just, been in there for 12 hours.
And Corey, that's what I'm doing when we're running a special. But like I said, our menu's so big that it's just really hard to keep that,
Yep.
on the line. But I'll make it for you. If I'm doing a special, I'll make it.
It's a big problem in New Orleans food, Scott, a little bit of a problem. They're now about, I don't know, a half dozen, maybe a dozen, restaurant groups that own multiple restaurants. It could be 4, 6, 8, 10 different restaurants. And they purchase other restaurants. Like they might go get Katie's, they might buy Francesca. But then instead of making the, gumbo in-house, well, they've got their own chicken andouille gumbo that they serve at the other 4 restaurants. So we're just going to make it all at the commissary and bring it in a bag over to Katie's or whatever we purchase. And then all of a sudden you have that generic gumbo at all 10 of their restaurants. And like 5 of the restaurants they acquired used to make their own unique gumbo. And that goes away. So the restaurant groups are fine. I'm not dogging them because they put a lot of people, they employ a lot of people. They keep a lot of restaurants running. But also the commissary concept, sometimes I'm a little weary of that. I like individual restaurants that do things individually. Like you don't have the same gumbo at Katie's as you do at Francesca. And that would be easy for you to do and maybe even cost saving, but you don't do it. I like that. I like that.
It's like, say, the burger's not the same at Katie's as it is at Francesca. I want to do things differently because I want it to be another way that I like it. And I'll use the burger as the example. At Katie's, we use a char grill. It goes on our char grill. So you get a char grill burger, and it's great because I get the meat fresh ground every day by Sammy's on Elysian Fields.
Yeah.
And then the burger at the deli is a brisket burger. And we do it on the flat top.
That's so smart,
so
man.
It's more of a smash burger.
No, it's so smart. Go get 2 different burgers, one at Katie's, one at Francesca, same owner, same restaurant crew and group, and different burgers. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. So disappointing. I'm not going to mention the restaurant of the group, but I used to like this gumbo, and they changed the gumbo to the in the bag commissary gumbo, and it's not the restaurant's original gumbo, and I don't go there anymore because of that, Scott.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
No.
There are some good bag gumbos out there.
No, there are.
They're commissary made here in the city, and I know who makes them.
Yeah.
And they are very good gumbos.
No. But, my cousin, George Rode.
Yeah.
He works for Mr. Mudbug for, your boy.
He works for Pigeon.
Yeah. Well, no. He works for,
Oh, wait. That's Jeffrey.
Your boy who lives on the North Shore. I can't believe I'm going blank. And it's crazy I'm going blank because he purchased.
He lives on the North Shore.
Yeah, he purchased a building I owned. Mike. Mike.
Restaurant on the North Shore?
What's his name, man? He owns Mr. Mudbugs. He owns.
Mike Mianza?
Mike Mianza. Yeah. Jeez, I'm going blank.
He's a friend of mine.
No, of course he's a friend of yours. Mike Mianza. Yeah. They do a lot of stuff like that. Like I think the lobster biscuit, Ruth's Chris. Mike Mianza, nationwide. I think like Olive Garden or Carrabba's, they have like a salad dressing. It's probably the best thing on the damn menu. Mianza's group does that. Now, my cousin George Rode is like the Warren LaRuth of that company, being able to take small portions and make 500 gallons of it, and it tastes the exact same.
And they're selling it to a multitude of restaurants around the city. So
yep.
You go to certain restaurants, you'll see that salad dressing or that gumbo or something is the same.
Yep.
Because it's being made, and it's a very good product.
Yes.
But, like Stephanie, my wife, a long time ago said, when we were offered to have other Katies.
Wait, was this
around
after
the
she?
country.
Wait, was this after she said, "Why did I marry you"? Hold that thought. Hold that thought, Scott. Hold that thought. I'm taking our last break of the hour. Scott Craig's with us. Why did I marry you? Help me out on that one, Scott, on the other side. Coming from a divorce guy, what
The
am I
Woodhouse
talking
Day
about?
Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
TM-JC.com, local spots. TM-JC.com, local spots.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Corey Johnson back at you. Scott Craig's with us from Katie's as well. Hey, Scott, a week from tomorrow, the Green Wave taking on Northwestern from Chicago at Yulman. Yeah. Saturday morning next week. John Summerall's a winner. And I think the expectations are 10 or 11 wins.
There's no question. And it came up. What happened? The story of the week was, John Summerall answering a question about LSU playing Tulane.
Yep.
And how, it would be great. They'd love to do it. Love to play LSU. He said all the right stuff. And then I was listening to Hunt Palmer on one of the LSU stations, Baton Rouge stations, Wednesday. And he was going on and on about LSU doesn't need it. LSU doesn't need to play Tulane. When he said this, I almost jumped through the radio. It would be like playing Louisiana Tech. Are you that misinformed, dude?
Who said this?
Good.
Who said this?
He said that. Hunt Palmer. He said that.
Who's Hunt Palmer?
I mean, he played ball at LSU back in the day, and he's got a radio show from 2 to 4 on during the week.
In Baton Rouge?
I couldn't believe it. That is so misinformed. Tulane's in the top 30. Louisiana Tech's not in the top anything.
Now, this Hunt Palmer guy broadcasts in Baton Rouge?
He does.
Okay, yeah. I mean, these are a bunch of LSU guys, and I started in Baton Rouge in talk radio. You're not getting an objective opinion from that, Scott. I mean, Sumrall's right.
It wouldn't do LSU any good to play Tulane. It's not going to make them any money.
It's not the right answer. The right answer is
thinking about what it would do for New Orleans playing in the Dome, having LSU come down, and it's just really irritating because he's misinformed.
No. Well,
it's not like playing Southeastern or Louisiana Tech or Tulane is a legit program.
No. They are.
And as much as I love LSU, man, I would love to see Tulane beat LSU right now after those comments, just to bring those people down to earth.
Well, the real answer is, and it's the real answer, LSU's this monster, and they generate $10 million a game at home, literally $10 million a game at Tiger Stadium. So if I'm Tulane, I would do a 3 at Tiger Stadium, maybe even 4, and 1 at the Dome, because I don't care. I'm driving 80 miles upriver. I'm going to have 10,000 of my fans go to the game, and I'm going to drive back home with $1 million check, with $1 million cash for that game, going, not flying, getting in a bus, driving 80 miles up the I-10. So I'm Tulane. I play at Tiger Stadium 3-4 times, and then 1 in the Dome. And I think LSU might go for that. And then the Dome, LSU would get the majority of the gate because they're giving up the $10 million playing at Tiger Stadium. It'd have to be that way. Tulane would have to understand the financials of it to agree. I think Tulane's like, look, we played Oklahoma home and away. We play, all these big programs, Ole Miss home and away. Why can't LSU play?
My point is how misinformed he is.
Yep.
To not give Tulane the credit
of course. Of course.
So, and I'll tell you right now, I'm going to tell you right now, Tulane's coaching staff is way better than LSU's coaching staff. I'm telling you that right now.
I don't know if they're way better.
Auburn's next coach. Mark my word, he'll be Auburn's next coach if he leaves Tulane.
Could you imagine, Scott, if LSU had like an 8-4 season and Brian Kelly got canned in December and they hired John Sumrall from Tulane? Could you imagine that?
You know what? They'd be geniuses to do it.
Exactly.
But would the LSU powers that be hire a former Tulane coach?
Well, if it's because it's Tulane and they wouldn't, they're stupid. But Kelly might make the playoffs this year. I mean, the way he's been talking, Scott, the offensive line looks great. All skill players. You got Nuss, playing QB. You got a good defense with a new coordinator and lots of talent. So like Tulane, where the expectations 10, 11 wins, LSU, the expectations 10 wins or bust for Kelly. He doesn't get to the playoffs this year, does like a 9-3, 8-4. There's going to be hell to pay in Baton Rouge.
And there should be. And I would love to see John Sumrall at LSU. I would love to see
that. Now Tulane fans right now are just freaking out hearing that. They're trying to retain the guy for next year, hoping he doesn't go anywhere. So LSU would just be like Saban going to Alabama, for Tulane.
If he's not going to stay at Tulane, I would like to see him at.
No, I'm with you on that. I would too. If he's got to leave, let him go. Stay in the state.
I love Tulane football. I love Tulane baseball. I like Tulane basketball. I always pull for Tulane, but I did go to school at LSU. Unfortunately, I was never going to be able to afford or get into Tulane. So You know, it would be great, but I'd like to see him play.
Scott, I had Fletcher Mackel on earlier. I said if Rattler and Shuck have an equal game, I think Rattler's going to be the starter. If Shuck has a slightly better game than Rattler, I think Rattler could still be the starter. I agree. I think you go in with Rattler, and that way you're not putting pressure on Shuck, and you can insert him later in the year if Rattler falters and there's no pressure because he's coming off the bench. Fletcher Mackel said Rattler's on the roster. Kellen Moore drafted Shuck. They want the starter to be Shuck. If all things are equal, it will be Shuck. So interesting point.
Is that what Fletcher said?
Yes. I mean, it's hard to disagree with him.
I have to agree with that.
Yeah.
You know, but I want it to be Shuck. I just know it's the guy they drafted. I want him to be good.
Yeah, no, of course. You want him to win it and be good and be better than Rattler, or you want Rattler to win it and be better than Shuck, and whatever one wins is the quarterback of the future. No doubt. That's the key. We'll talk more next week, Scott, about the Saints because they're still a few weeks away. LSU and Tulane cranking up to a week from tomorrow. So next Friday, we'll have a nice 24-hour preview of that. Scott,
I'll do predictions with you and stuff. Thanks, Corey.
Yeah, you're right, Scott. Thanks, brother.
All right, bro. Thanks.
That's Scott Craig from Katie's and Francesca Deli. That's Blue Boy barking up a storm. You know what he's saying? Get to Katie's this weekend. You know what else he's saying? Have a great weekend. Thanks for watching and listening. What else, Blue Boy? See you Monday straight up 4 o'clock. You're right, buddy. Have a good one, New Orleans.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333.
Damn,
also
Blue.
on YouTube, on radio
So
at
much
Nola
barking,
93.9
buddy.
FM, WSLA New Orleans. It's 6
Good
p.m.
boy. Good boy. Good boy, Blue. Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy.